Just getting started, darling.
Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again. If you don't know me, my name is Jasmine. I do realistic drawings of people in colored pencil and regular pencil, but today we're going to be diving into the depths of my channel and looking at some of my old videos, and I know they're gonna be kind of cringy. I already don't want to do this, but this is a learning experience. So let's just go all the way to the depths. Out of my 164 videos, we're gonna take a look at some of the stuff that I made. For some reason, when I first made my channel, I did slideshows. I had no idea how to do a time-lapse video. I didn't have a camera, I didn't have a microphone, I didn't have special lighting. I did not have a lot to work with. I made a lot of slideshows. I want to say like my first 7 or 8 videos were just slideshows. I've been on YouTube since 2013. The first one we're gonna look at is my first, I did do a time-lapse video. My first one was a very short time-lapse, but everyone after that was a slideshow. So this was Jennifer Lopez. It did not get very good feedback. I did this one in ballpoint pens. Oh my god, why did I pick that song? Oh, you know what? I think YouTube had a library where you could pick like certain songs that are normally copyrighted and they wouldn't do like a copyright infringement on you. The music and the video do not go together. It's so blurry. I think I was trying to draw this like as fast as possible and it took about 52 minutes. Also, don't film your videos like this where you're constantly moving around and there's a time lapse. It makes the people too confused. It doesn't make your eye focus, and that I learned over the years not to do that, or at least have some transitions or something so my eye is not traumatized as much. I don't know how much of this I can watch. We're 1 minute and 13 seconds in. I was just coloring so heavy with that ballpoint pen, and it doesn't really look anything like her. I'm pretty sure my hands were quite blue after that. This, I used an old tablet and I did not have a tripod, so I don't even know what I used. I want to say I used like a tabletop easel or something. I don't even remember what I used to film this because it was like directly looking down on what I was drawing, so the tablet was like laying flat, but I don't know. I was using that Windows Movie Maker for the longest time. It constantly crashed and it had a blue screen with the error message and it was a mess. I can't keep watching this. I had 0 video editing skills. I didn't do any video editing before I made this, and it shows. Didn't even do a finished product. You just see it there in the corner. You see half of the drawing there in the corner. What is wrong with me? Let's see what other gold we can dig up here. Here's a slideshow I did. It's only 28 seconds long, so let's take a look at that. This was when I drew pink. It got some pretty good feedback on Instagram, and I didn't know how to use Instagram. I have a much better understanding of that now. And then I do remember I put the finished product next to the magazine reference picture. Oh, and another thing I want to point out is, let me just go back right here. If you look, there's these 2 candles up in the left-hand corner. So I used to use Prismacolor pencils, and what happened was I would heat up the pencils over the candle to warm up the wax lead. That's how I would try and do my blending. And I kind of got the idea from my mom because that's how she would warm up her eyeliner. She used to tell me like how she would do her makeup back in the day, but I was like, maybe this will work for a colored pencil. I don't recommend that. Don't do that. It's dangerous. It doesn't smell good and it leaves black soot on the pencil, so maybe don't do that. Here's one I made called Drawing Famous Faces, a slideshow of stuff that I was working on. I think I was just a couple of years out of high school, so I was looking for a job, but in the meantime I was just working on my drawing skills. I did the Jennifer Lopez drawing again, only this time I used charcoal instead of ballpoint pen. It did turn out better. I drew Vin Diesel, that didn't turn out well. I sealed that with hairspray. That was weird. I'm pretty sure I threw that away also. I was really into mixed media. I was always mixing like marker and ink and colored pencil and paint, and sometimes it was just getting to be a little bit too much. but I did a lot of experimenting with mixing media. I learned some stuff. The Cell Dweller drawing that I did, he has some pretty cool artwork. If you guys don't know who he is, he's a really awesome musician. He's been doing music for decades. It's super cinematic. It feels like you're going into outer space on a rocket ship, or that you've landed on like a different planet. His music is definitely out of this world. I would highly recommend. This is also a slideshow that I did. I used the same heat up your colored pencil over a candle method. This one, I believe I also used gel pen and white acrylic paint. I used acrylic paint on like everything. It doesn't look well after a few years. It doesn't look very good. And I really thought I was doing something by putting little words in there like it was a tutorial. That could not have been more unhelpful. At least the music makes it interesting. Also, less than a minute long slideshow. I did not want to talk in videos, so that's taken me years and years to try and get used to doing. I didn't start doing videos where I talked consistently for a very, very long time, because I had a YouTube channel for quite a few months before I started talking in videos. I did not like the sound of my voice. I don't like it now, but nobody else is gonna make these for me except for me. Oh, there's my Rocco drawing. I remember that. I use so many things on this. I use marker, ink, paint. Pretty sure I used colored pencil. Oh, Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah, I remember them. I had this VHS of Rocco, so I wanted to draw him, and I have it somewhere. I haven't seen that drawing in about a year. Oh yeah, this was with acrylic paint, and part of that involved finger painting because I was too lazy to learn how to blend with a paintbrush, so I used my fingers. What is up with the stencil font? Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I tried to do an eye tutorial drawing, and like I said, I did a few where I was talking, but then I stopped doing it for a while because I just could not stand listening to my voice when I was editing. It was driving me absolutely up the wall. And I'm not the only person who thinks that their own voice is annoying. I know that's kind of a normal thing for some people, but for some of us, it took a long time to get used to doing. Let's see how helpful I was in teaching you guys how to draw eyes. I was still using the upside down method, and instead of regular pencil, I was using a white colored pencil on black drawing paper. I had this old Sony camera that I was using. I want to say it was probably 5 megapixels. It was all that I had, but I made it work. I sounded so nervous. Oh my gosh. And I didn't edit it very well. The editing was not very precise. So there's a lot of, to me, there's like empty space that I could have completely edited out. My voice even sounds different. I sounded a lot more nervous because when I was in school, I have social anxiety, and when I was in school, when I talked, I would kind of talk like my mouth was clenched, like my teeth were clenched. So that it is kind of how I sound like in this video, because this is old. This is 2013, so I was 20 years old when I did this video, so that was a long time ago. Drawing tutorials for drawing people. I just talk about eye measurement and distance between eyes, things like that when you're drawing. Ooh, unfinished drawings. I was hyping you guys up for stuff that I started drawing and I never finished, so that's there. I drew this one particular person. The audience was not having that. Let's look at my drawing of Heather Rooney. This is the first time I drew her. This video has 36,500 views. It's the video I have with the highest amount of views. I am not proud of that. I do not want to be known for this drawing. It's not representative of who I am now as an artist. It's not a very accurate or current depiction of the type of work that I do. I remember when I started out on YouTube, I remember watching some of her videos. I was pretty interested in her work, so I followed her for a while, and then I decided to draw her. There was another lady that I was watching. Her name was Christina Armstrong, I think, and she was doing all these awesome time lapses on colored paper of people, and I just thought they were amazing. And I was thinking, you know, I could try and do that. I want to draw people, but she kind of makes it look easy. It's not very realistic looking, but unfortunately this is still my most popular video because people don't want to watch new stuff. I'm still getting comments up to this day for this video, and this was uploaded on November 26th of 2013. And I think I recorded this one either with a tablet or I used my old Sony camera. And there's this method that I used for undertones. I would use yellows and oranges and all these other colors for undertones, and I noticed that there was also some like outlining going on. I would draw something and then I would fill in the darker part, like the creases of the face where the nose is. Those are dark. They're really, really prominent, so it makes it look more animated. Don't do that unless that's what you want. I also colored in vertical lines, and I was not super experienced with the paper. I was very, very new to doing colored pencil portraits like this. I'd only done a few at this point. I did not know a whole lot about color blending and using the layering method on this kind of paper. I had to learn a lot about paper as well. This paper I remember was very, very slippery, and I was having a hard time layering the pencil on there, I was using Prismacolor Premier, and I remember the pencil was just making these weird lines and it was very, very uneven. Here I am moving the paper around again, so your eyes get all weirded out. Oh my god, and I'm touching the paper with my hands. Do not touch your drawing with your hands. The oils from your hands are corrosive and can change the color, and keep you from layering on more pencil. It's just not good. It does not look good. Use tracing paper, any kind of paper under your hand. Use the plastic sheet protector. Just use it when you're coloring so that you're not constantly like rubbing your hand on the paper because you can smudge it. I used Prismacolor for a long time. I still do on a few small pieces, but for the most part now I use the Caran d'Ache Luminance. I remember seeing a bunch of artists online that were using it on tone paper and I really liked how that looked, so I decided to use them. I've been happy with them ever since, and that was 5 years ago I started to use them. Eek. It's not my best work. Like I said, I was pretty new to colored pencil at this point. I had only done just a few pieces, but a little over 9 hours to draw this. Like that was so long. And here I am spending, you know, minimum of 18 hours just on the coloring. Just the coloring part, not the drawing part, just coloring is a minimum of 18 hours. And the most I've ever spent on a drawing was about 110 hours, and that was my Whitney Houston drawing. That took a very, very long time because of the background. And right under that one, it was the Good Burger one, which took close to 100 hours. Also blurry. These I filmed on a tablet. That's why they're not great. They're so dark, oh my gosh. I showed the whole drawing process of me drawing upside down. I believe this one was on the vellum paper. Vellum is also a great finish paper for pencil. It allows you to layer a lot. It does have a tooth to it, so you do have to do a little bit more of heavy coloring, but it is a wonderful paper to work with. I was using these woodless colored pencils from Prismacolor Premier. They allow you to color a large area of space without having to worry about sharpening them. I'm pretty sure that was the first time I ever drew somebody with ink work, was when I did this Pierce Seville portrait set. Now they're just easy for me to draw, like they're pretty simple. You do have to treat them kind of like a separate drawing though. Let's look at the finished one. Just wish I would have worked more on the blending, because I think the arm looks actually pretty good as far as coloring, but the face is very patchy. But hey. Alright, let's see what else we can get traumatized by. Oh, here's my Whitney Houston drawing. I had a lot of issues with this drawing, mainly because of the paper, because the paper was damaged. I had a mental breakdown during this drawing process. This one is from 2018. It took me over a month to color her, and then it took me another, I want to say 5 weeks to color the background. That doesn't include the sketching part. If you look really closely at the video, you'll see little tiny specks on her face. So that is where the paper is damaged, and I didn't realize it until I started coloring. So that was fun. So here I am coloring with vertical lines, just using light layering, which I still do up to this day. I still do this coloring process. I'm just more careful about the paper and making sure that it's not damaged. You have to look really, really close for this kind of stuff, just to make sure there's no little indents or spots where the paper may have gotten wet, so that you don't go through that trauma later. But I really did like working on this piece. That hair took quite a while to do. And then we move on to the background, which was a bunch of roses. This was a picture I fused with the main picture, so I actually had to get a very, very clear photo of a garden of roses, and it took so long to draw that out. When you do a background, it's like doing a whole nother drawing while you're drawing. Like a drawing inside of a drawing, so it has its own process. And I guess for this I decided not to blur them out, so the roses are really, really clear. It kind of looks like she's sitting up against the rose bush. And for this, I do remember that I paid really close attention to the background around her hair, so I colored in between each strand of hair to make sure that it looked better against the background. And there's the finished piece. I do think that there's things that I would have changed. Looking back on that now, I definitely would have checked the paper better to make sure it wasn't damaged. That would have been nice to know. I'm getting tired of talking. I do not like this flavor. I really appreciate you guys just taking the time to watch with me. If you want to buy prints, you can visit the link in my description to see my Etsy shop. You can follow me on Instagram right here at jasminebaker.artist. It will probably be here somewhere on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications because I only post on this channel 2 times a month, and that does not work well for the YouTube algorithm because I am only one person. So I have to post on this channel 2 times a month and my second channel, Jasmine Baker 2 times a month. So this week you guys get this video, the next week you guys will get a video on my second channel. That's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for being here. If you're subscribed, thank you. If you're not, please subscribe if you like watching my videos. It's a free way to support this channel. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Hear me roll.
And everybody's watching her.